evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of TED Excellence, the show in which I get to live for 1,000 years old. Sure, you'd say that's old. 1,000 years old. But what do you know? In my darkest hour, my indolent friends will be 1,000 years old. And if you know who did that song, you're a nerd. Anyway, and I come to you live from Crater Valley on the moon with Dogcat Fox, a Pepperjack, and all of you. Good evening, everyone. Welcome again to Thursday. Time-spanning Thursday. We are once again going into the wonderful world of off-brand TED Talks for information, education, and entertainment. I call it Infinite. Hope you're all doing well on this beautiful Thursday evening, just ahead of another weekend, almost, kind of, sort of, closer and closer to the holiday times, if you're not already in the holiday times, if you're celebrating a particular holiday. But yeah, I got a weird one tonight. It's the title alone caught my attention. It's not on any particular topic that I'm usually attentive to. It's just I needed something goofy, something that sounded goofy as a palate cleanser after a relatively sleepless week. I have been awakened 3 nights in a row by different things. Either my neighbors upstairs, an anomalous knocking at my door, or something noisy happening outside of my apartment. And so I have had lousy sleep 3 nights in a row. So I'm a little punch drunk, and I don't want to think too hard. I don't. I really don't, but I keep doing it. Either way, here we are. Before I get into tonight's topic, who's joining me on this adventure into eternity? Keeverdam, hello. Roasted Opinions, hello. Corey Suzuki, hello. Shell D, hello. Tier Alexander, the Gentleman Lich, hello. Alan Thyler, hello. Vader35, hello. Mike R, hello. Chicago Mike, hello. Attack Alpaca, hello. Zero the Hero 909, finally get to see this live again. Well, welcome back. Robert Pincus, hello. Shadowclaw, hello. Brittany Holland, hello. Kiro Soldier, hello. Angelverse, hello. A2P, hello. Hello, don't hurt me. I just wanted to use a lot of exclamation points. Well, wasn't planning on it, and I won't. So there you go. Draco Rincewind, hello. Urcole Di Stefano, hello. Tall Person, hello. Spoonie the Rebel, hello. Mike R, hello. Did I already say hello on Mike R? I don't know. There's so many mics in here. Mike this and Mike that and Michael. All the mics. Step up to the mic. Mikeaton. Anyway, Rotten Corpse, hello. And I think that's everybody I see. If I missed you, if you're lurking, if you're in the future, hello. Yes, so tonight, I saw this title and I just could not help myself. How to unlock 100 billion extra years of healthy life. 100 billion years of extra healthy life. Now, all I know about this presentation is the title. That's all I know. I did not read the description. I'm taking it at face value. The only thing I know about the presentation is that the speaker does speak English, even though it's apparently taking place in Athens. In the course of enhancing the audio, I did have to listen to about 2 seconds. And so I know he speaks English. So that's what I have to check sometimes, because sometimes they'll give it an English title, but then the speaker is speaking Czechoslovakian or something. So does he mean this literally? That was sort of the question in my mind. Is this going to be some sort of weird, abstract, philosophical talk? Is he giving us some ideas about, I don't know, a collective human sort of aggregate experience of life? You know, it's not that one person lives 100 billion years. It's that we as individuals collectively live a little longer, and then that adds up to 100 billion years of time, something like that. I don't know. Because the Earth itself has only been around, as far as we know right now, at least 4.5 billion years, unless you subscribe to some other philosophy about the age of the Earth. So 100 billion years is something. But either way, I don't know what our speaker is going to be talking about. I don't know if it's snake oil. I don't know if it's philosophy. I don't know if it's something else. We'll find out together as a little bit of a palate cleanser, at least for me, for the weekend oncoming. But before I get to that, holy cats, Alan Thyler, thank you so much once again for your generosity with the #1 samurai dog cat fox. Oh, dog cat fox.
Wowie, wow, wow.
That is a relatively terse ranting monkey dog cat fox. Thank you so much, Alan. Appreciate it very much. Hope you're enjoying the evening and the show. Ostzan, good evening. The Assassin of the Gray, good evening. Anybody else I missed in the meantime? I don't see anybody. If I have missed you, just say hello at some point in the chat. I hope to get you on here for a hello. All right. Well, with that all said, a couple of things to remind. First and foremost, at the top of the chat box, you'll see some fundraiser links for our friends Twisted Skipster, James Colley, Grisella, and Angry Illinoisian. If you could take a look at those when you have an opportunity, because each of them in their way have suffered some sort of hardship recently, and they and their families could use some help, especially at this time of year. If you have a couple of bucks to spare, excellent. If you can't, that's fine, but if you can, share those out on social media, that would be appreciated. Also, tonight's bingo card is B. B as in billion, I suppose. If you'd like to join in on the poll each week to decide on the bingo card, you have to follow me on Twitter or X at scribe_light. And with that, let's get into it. This one lasts just under 17 minutes, so I better get started. We'll start off with a few seconds for a sound test. You guys tell me if you can hear it. And then we'll proceed with learning how to live 100 billion years of extra healthy life.
Zoe.
Uh-oh.
Life.
Okay. He worried me there for a second. I was like, did I just happen to only listen to the 3 seconds of the presentation where he's speaking in English? Okay. You guys hear that okay? Let me know in the chat. All good, says Alan Thyler. Life, says Tall Person. And, Tony Giff, good evening. Hope you're doing well. Okay, life.
Are we just barely alive? Or do we live life?
Are we just barely alive or do we live life? This is going to be philosophical, isn't it?
Over the last 100 years, we have doubled our life expectancy by eradicating contagious diseases once thought incurable.
Yes.
Tuberculosis, meningitis,
yes.
AIDS.
Whoa, wait. We cured AIDS? What? Wait, what? Did I miss a headline somewhere? I mean, admittedly, I'm not doing a nightly news show anymore like I used to. Did we cure AIDS? Okay, sure. Let me back up, make sure I heard that correctly. We cured AIDS, tuberculosis, and AIDS. Let me listen. Maybe I missed something.
Barely alive?
Yeah.
Or do we live life?
Uh-huh.
Over the last 100 years, we have doubled our life expectancy by eradicating contagious diseases once thought incurable.
Eradicating contagious diseases once thought incurable.
Tuberculosis, meningitis, AIDS. Over the last 50 years.
Okay, all right. Wait. Oh, all right. We have not. Did we eradicate AIDS? Okay.
We managed to diagnose and treat much earlier life-threatening diseases like prostate or colon cancer.
Sure.
And over the last 3 years, we have triumphed over a global pandemic, saving the lives of billions.
Did we? You see, I have this rock over here. It keeps tigers away. How does it work? Well, you don't see any tigers around, do you? Okay.
Science is at the forefront of many breakthrough advancements for our health and our life.
Yeah, like eradicating AIDS.
And yet, 75% of us live with obesity and excess weight, despite following all the government advice.
Yeah, despite following all of the government advice. Okay. Again, I have no idea where this is going. I only know what the title says, and the title is relatively ambiguous. But before we go any further, let's remind ourselves what we're listening for on the bingo card. Remember, this is bingo card B. Okay, bingo card B: marginalized or marginalization, self-vilification or wretchedness, contradicts own point or argument, feminism, microaggressions or unconscious bias, privilege, benevolent condescension. Not sure if saying eradicating AIDS falls in that category, but we'll see. Weightless example, we'll see. Plays victim, collectivizes own demographic, economic disparity, argumentative non sequitur, attempt to coin new buzzword or buzz phrase, a list. I'm going to say that him listing off whether he's correct or not, listing off the various diseases and things in his opening monologue here counts as a list for the sake of the presentation. So circling that and free space. Mind reading assumes motives. Patriarchy. Anecdote that probably never happened. I think I can safely circle that for eradicating AIDS. I mean, I might be able to extend the idea that there was a loss of translation somewhere, but no, we haven't eradicated AIDS or meningitis. And I mean, tuberculosis still exists. It's just, anyway. Diversity, equity, and or inclusion, white supremacy, childhood or family anecdote, systemic or institutional, leaves out vital context. I got a feeling somewhere in here. Sales pitch for product or service. It's possible. And lastly, word salad. So far on the board, we have free space, a list, and anecdote that probably never happened. Let's proceed.
Over the last 3 decades, twice as many people are suffering and dying much earlier from lifestyle diseases like cancer, Alzheimer, diabetes.
Lifestyle diseases. Alzheimer's is a lifestyle disease? I mean, when I think of lifestyle disease, it's like I've decided to live my life in a particular way, which increases my chances of contracting or experiencing some kind of disease. So like if I decide to smoke 2 packs a day every day from the age of 13 to, modern day, that I'm probably risking lung cancer or something else. That sounds to me like a lifestyle disease. I mean, you can get lung cancer never having smoked a cigarette in your life, but it's not as common. Alzheimer's is a lifestyle disease? I hadn't heard that one. How do I avoid that one?
Heart disease.
Yeah.
And even more alarmingly, 1 in 3 of our children, yes, 1 in 3 of our children are living with obesity and excess weight, following us fast towards this path of lifestyle diseases.
Diet and exercise and discipline.
If we exclude contagious diseases?
If we exclude contagious diseases, you mean aside from the pandemic you already mentioned? Okay.
We're dying at exactly the same rate as 100 years ago.
We're dying at the same rate, yeah, but the lifespans have extended. So it's a matter of... Okay.
We're obsessed about diet and lifestyle, yet suffering and dying much earlier from lifestyle diseases.
Like Alzheimer's?
Why?
Why do we die?
And what can we do to prolong our healthy years of life?
Again, all you can really do is eat well, exercise, and try to avoid vices that might otherwise damage your body, too much or something. That's it. Everything in moderation, and don't OD on anything in particular. Outside of that, it's still a dice roll. You could be the healthiest person on the planet and end up getting lung cancer. There have been plenty of, I brought that up earlier, there have been plenty of documented instances of people who have never smoked a cigarette a day in their life, and they end up getting lung cancer. And on and on. Or you get something hereditary that you have no control over. Yeah, I mean, you do the best you can with what you got and the time that you have. I don't know what else to tell you.
This is exactly the same question that I faced a few years ago. Okay. I was 42 years old. I was feeling tired, low in energy. I decided to do a scan to understand what was happening inside my body.
Okay.
I found that I had half a kilo of fat in and around my organs.
Half a kilo. What? I didn't hear him. Did he say fat or what?
Inside my body. I found that I had half a kilo of fat in and around my organs.
Half a kilo of fat. Okay.
A concerning amount for my future health.
Uh-huh.
I thought I was healthy, but I was blind.
Uh-huh.
I was a toffee, thin outside, fat inside. I thought I was eating all the right unhealthy things for me.
Uh-huh.
But in fact, I knew more about the right fuel to put in my car rather the right fuel to put in my body.
I have a sneaking suspicion we're getting into snake oil territory. I don't know.
I decided to consult my doctor.
Uh-huh.
I asked him,
Yes.
what shall I do? What shall I be eating to be healthier?
Fruits, vegetables, grain, and a good dose of meat and proteins. I mean, there's the science of what makes the healthiest diet, or at least on average the healthiest diet, is kind of well known. So yeah, I mean, everybody's different. You know, some people need more than one thing over the other, but okay.
You know what I got?
What?
A leaflet.
Yeah.
Yes, just a leaflet.
Well, yeah, what did you expect? It's fruits, vegetables, grain, protein, dairy in decent proportions.
A leaflet containing the same generic advice that I was getting from my dear grandmother decades earlier.
Oh, it's almost like the knowledge of what makes the healthiest diet is kind of well known, well documented. Uh-huh.
I vividly remember her telling me, Yorgaki, little George,
Uh-huh.
do not eat eggs. They're bad for your cholesterol.
Uh-huh.
I was not happy. I started searching for answers, for the truth behind this firm, rigid advice of
the truth behind this firm, rigid advice. Oh, I don't know, maybe several centuries of health science. You know, okay, backing up slightly because I did cut him off.
for the truth behind this firm, rigid advice of eggs and cholesterol.
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised to find that this firm advice was based on just few poorly designed studies.
Just a few poorly designed studies. Well, okay. How many is a few?
I will give you an example.
Okay.
A study in 1972.
A study in 1972. And there have been no studies since then. There's been no studies before then. Okay.
With just 12 people. 12 people.
So one study from 1972 had a sample size of 12 people. Have there been any, I don't know, other studies with larger sample sizes, either concurrent to or after 1972?
The study was so poorly designed
Uh-huh.
that it didn't account for the fact that 6 out of the 12 people had high cholesterol levels before the study started.
Uh-huh.
And also the fact it didn't account for what else these people were eating or drinking. So they could be eating pizza all day long, or bacon, or tons of alcohol. So I thought, could everything that we have been told about food was a lie?
This is early on, and it's not like one of my more sort of, I guess, ecstatic instances of pulling this trigger, but all the same.
What the fuck are you talking about?
What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Right?
So you cherry pick, and I'll take your word for it that this study actually exists. I won't even argue. I'm sure there are lots of studies out there that are badly constructed. You cherry pick one study from, good Lord, 50 years ago now, practically, or 40 years ago, 40, whatever. My math sucks. Anyway, you pick one study from nearly half a century ago that was badly constructed as your primary example of how food science has failed us, and that is the basis for doubting the essentials of a healthy diet, or at least specifically the connection between eggs and cholesterol levels. Okay. Kieverdam says 51. Yes, thank you. I'm an English major, not a math major. Okay. Okay.
A few miles away from me, Professor Tim Spector was asking exactly the same question.
Who?
Tim has been studying twins, 15,000 twins over the last 30 years.
15,000 twins over the last 30 years. Okay.
You see, twins are an amazing group of people to study to understand the difference in the impact of nature versus nurture.
Yes. I mean, okay, I'm not going to mark this up as benevolent condescension because, I mean, it's supposed to be educational, but still, yes, I think most people can get that.
On our health.
Yeah.
Although twins are identical, oftentimes they have diverging paths towards how they develop diseases, how fast they age, or even how they put on weight.
Sure.
Take, for example, Jackie and Jillian. Jackie is 20 kilos heavier than Jillian. Tim discovered that although these identical twins share 100% of the DNA, 100% of the DNA, they only share 1/3 of the gut microbiome.
1/3 of the gut microbiome. Okay. That's potentially interesting, I guess. I have no idea where this is going. Of course, that was kind of the point of this one.
This beautiful, vast community of trillions of bacteria living in our gut, and so influential for the health of our metabolism, our immune system, our mood, our overall health.
Sorry. Okay, well, when did they test the microbial community in their gut? I mean, I'm assuming it's at later age, or could it change over time? I mean, if I'm a twin and I grow up, or I decide at some point early on in my, 20s or something to go live in Texas versus Maine, right? My twin's in Maine and I'm in Texas, and we grow up in two completely different areas with, different environments and different climates and the whole 9 yards. And we eat completely different foods. My twin in Maine is eating mostly, shellfish and seafood, and I'm in Texas eating beef and pork and such. Is that going to cause a change despite our genetics? I mean, just being a twin, what are the factors to it, I guess?
Tim discovered that it was through how twins like Jackie and Jillian ate and lived that explained these big differences in their gut.
Well, golly gee whiz, I'm not even a food scientist, and I figured that out with it before he even told me. Imagine that. Yeah, where you live and what you eat. Okay, and how does that negate the rules, let's say, of the basic healthy diet?
And overall health. And also that the gut could hold the keys to the right lifestyle, the right way for us to eat and live and be healthier.
Okay, so, all right, I'm all right. I'll try to be giving here. All right, benefit of the doubt. So, if there is a way to say, based on your individual digestion system, all right, this diet would work better for you than that diet. Is that what you're saying? Is that the differential here? Because all right. I'm not quite sure what that has to do with a cheesy study in 1972 in eggs and cholesterol, but okay.
My friend Jonathan Wolf, Tim, and I met and discovered that we all share exactly the same health concerns. I have these gut issues. What is causing them, and what can I do?
Diet and exercise. more so probably on the exercise part, because I'm assuming you're not, I mean, just by your frame and your overall carriage, I'm assuming you're not an overeater. So probably more aerobic exercise, focusing specifically on your midsection for the most part. Now, I'm not a Jim Healis. If Jim Healis were here, he'd probably have a lot more and more informed advice, but that's the best I can do as a complete novice. Thank you, Mr. Tickletrunk, for the happy, smiley, dancy, dog cat fox. Oh, dog cat fox.
Whoa wee. Whoa whoa.
That is a tailed feature dog cat fox. Thank you so much, Mr. Tickletrunk. Hope you're having a good evening. Also, a couple more hellos here while I see people here. Roan Harushin, good evening. North of, good evening. And I think I already did say, but I don't know if I brought him up on screen. Tony Giff, good evening. Also, Kenny on Cat Piss, good evening. Jamie Melquist, good evening. Zed the Snarky, good evening. And I think that's everybody. If I missed you, I hope to find you later on. Okay.
Jonathan asked, I had a mini stroke. I want to understand what to eat to be healthier. Tim added.
You had a mini stroke. You want to find out what to eat to be healthier. Okay.
It turned out that we were all obsessing about answering the same exact question.
How to live a healthy life? Yeah, no, that's totally uncommon in people your age or my age. I'm actually a couple of years older than our speaker at this point. Yeah.
What is the right advice for us individually to be able to prolong our healthy years of life?
Yeah, and I'm sure that there's been no studies done, no measurements taken that could, based on your personal health circumstances, be applied to answer that question in as reasonable a way as possible on the temporal plane over the last, couple hundred years of health science. But everything we've been told before is wrong because 1972 12-person study.
In searching for answers, we consulted 13 world-leading professors of nutrition around the world.
Okay.
We asked them their view.
Only 13? That's just one more than 12. So your baker's dozen is going to... Oh, sorry. Maybe I'm getting too picky on his sample size complaints.
Consulted 13 world-leading professors of nutrition around the world. We asked them their view on 105 different foods.
Okay.
We expected that they would agree on most, but we were surprised to find they disagreed on many. For example, in foods.
Wait. Are you telling me that you asked 13 different food scientists their opinion on the healthiest foods and you got conflicting answers from 13 different people? In science? Wow.
Like raisins or yogurt or even cheese. But I don't want you to get your hopes too high because they all agreed ice cream is actually bad for our health.
Okay, first off, I'm watching a TEDx talk. My hopes are the opposite of high. Secondly, I hadn't even thought of ice cream in my head because I thought we were talking about healthy foods and... Okay. I don't know. Does a terrible joke count as benevolent condescension? I don't know.
So we asked ourselves, what if we studied the impact of food on our health real time?
Yes, what if? I'm sure no such study has ever been performed before in the history of humankind. Okay, now I am going to circle benevolent condescension. Like, wow, what an innovative thought. No one has monitored or measured or seen the results of someone's diet, quote unquote, in real time before.
You see, each time we eat, our blood levels change. Our blood sugar levels, our blood fat levels, our insulin levels.
Whoa, wait. What is... Okay, suddenly there's a squiggly line with emojis on it. On the screen. I've never seen a TEDx with a visual overlay like that in the middle of a talk. That's a new one.
These are very important for the health of our metabolism, our gut, our overall health.
Yes.
short, medium, and long term.
Oh, do you mean to tell me that a moment on the lips, a lifetime on the hips? Geez, okay. Tell me something I don't know.
Let's call this changes in the blood levels, just for simplicity today,
Uh-huh.
responses to food, our response to food.
Responses to food, specifically to blood levels. Okay.
The higher and the more frequent these responses to food are,
Uh-huh.
the worse for our health.
Oh,
So now imagine
okay.
how many times we eat in a day.
How many times we eat in a day? Well, personally, if we're just talking about like actual food, I don't usually have breakfast. I'm not usually a breakfast guy. For breakfast, I usually have like instant hot cocoa. That's essentially my breakfast. And vitamins. I take vitamin D, B complex, and a calcium sort of zinc deal. And then otherwise I eat maybe 3 times a day. Otherwise, I have a lunch, I have a dinner, and somewhere in there I probably have a snack. So there you go. Now, is it the healthiest food on the planet? Probably not. Could I eat healthier? Sure. But que sera, I guess.
In a week.
Well, 3 times 7, so 21.
In a month.
21 times 4, which is 84. Right? Right.
In a year.
Oh, for crying out loud. 84 times 12. I'm an English major.
Over decades.
Oh, so?
And imagine the compounding effect over decades of high responses for our health.
Okay, I can imagine quite a bit. And?
One could imagine that this is analogous to the impact of wear and tear over 30 years on the piping and plumbing system of our house. Right?
Yes. Yeah, I get it. You're not telling me or anyone with half a brain anything they don't already know or have at least a passive understanding of. Right.
Right?
Right.
So we decided to do exactly that, to launch the PREDICT study.
Oh my God, no. Oh no, the PREDICT study. And look at the schools involved. King's College London, Massachusetts General Hospital, Harvard Medical School, Tufts University, and it's Stanford University. No. Okay, that's your cue. That's your cue. Get over here. That's your cue. You do it. Dramatic squirrel is misbehaving. Get over here. Get over here. Get over here. Stay there. I might need you again. If he says Stanford, be ready. Silly little. Anyway, yeah. So Stanford University was part of this. Oh, my confidence level has risen through the roof.
A very ambitious study to study the response to food in thousands of individuals, even identical twins.
Oh, even.
We wanted to study 3 things. Firstly, we want to study the individual, their DNA, their bacteria in their gut, their health conditions, the health background, the health markers.
Yeah.
Secondly, we want to study exactly how these people ate and lived over a period of 14 days.
14 days, that's it? So wait, and maybe I'm getting ahead of him here. You're going to extrapolate out decades worth of life based on 14 days of activity. You want to go back to that 1972 study? You're just going to take the aggregate of, okay.
Exactly what they ate, in what sequence, in what space, how fast they ate, how they slept, how they exercised, even what antibiotics they took. And thirdly, we want to understand the resulting responses to food.
Okay, the cameraman is in love with this giant slingshot for some reason. I mean, I'll give them credit. It's impressive that they have a physical prop on the stage. I'm just not quite sure why we have this dramatic slow pan on it.
How the blood sugar levels, the blood fat levels, their insulin levels change after what they ate and how they lived.
Okay.
Scientists, when we first told them about our plan, thought we were absolutely crazy.
Why? I mean, aside from the limited span of time that you're doing it, I can only imagine you're going to measure however many people you've got involved and then just do sort of an average, right? You're going to aggregate all of that information of each individual's 14 days in your study and find an average on different things. Why do they think you were crazy?
You are mad, they said.
Why?
These studies only take place on 10 to 20 people. You will never pull it off.
How was the data gathered?
And yet we were determined, and we partnered with some of the most amazing people in places like Harvard and Stanford.
Oh, I told you. All right, hit. Stanford.
Mass General Hospital, King's College in London. And today, PREDICT is the largest study of its kind in the world.
How is the information gathered and measured?
With 75,000 participants and growing.
Is the information by any chance self-reported over the intertubes somehow?
I vividly remember the first day we saw the results.
No. Hold on. This is a move. I mean, I hope he's not making it, but this is a move he doesn't get to make in a presentation like this. He cites a study from 1972 and criticizes its construction as being, well, incomplete, incompetent, uninformative, broken, and so on. You know, factors that they didn't take into consideration when they conducted it, so on and so forth. Okay. You don't get to critique a study in your own presentation and not provide us the details of how your study operates, because we don't, you know, we need compare and contrast. Tell us how the data is collected, how it is reported, how it is assessed, a whole 9 yards. Walk us through the study, at least in summary, because if you don't do that, the presentation itself is not very well constructed.
I was shocked to see that amongst thousands of people, like all of us here, even identical twins, when we gave them the same exact food, they had 10 times, a tenfold different in the responses to the same exact food.
Oh, do you mean to tell me that different people operate differently in different environments and so on? But that aside, how is the data collected? How is it aggregated?
Meaning that the same food is not right for all of us.
Oh, golly gee whiz, Batman. Thanks so much. Tell me about cilantro. Duh.
It also meant that for some of these people, they had a tenfold higher need to take drastic, urgent action for their health right there and then.
Okay, if you say so, how was your study constructed?
We were also surprised to see that even identical twins had different responses to the same food.
Oh my gosh. Well, you already told us that their gut microbes are different only by 2/3 compared. So, and?
Take, for example, Hugo and Ross, the Turner twins, these British world adventurers.
Wait. Hugo Ross? Boy, those guys' parents, they got a sense of humor, I tell you what. Do they wear khakis by any chance?
Hugo had much higher responses to exactly the same food versus Ross. Hugo and Ross are 100% identical.
Their teeth are different. Okay, maybe genetically speaking, but you know, I can see some differences. I could see how you could say one is different than the other. One's face is slightly narrower than the other one. But anyway, sorry. You were saying again they're 100% identical?
yet with very different responses to the same exact food.
Uh-huh.
We also saw that when we gave the same food to our participants, about 25% of them
Uh-huh.
experienced a large drop in their responses after they ate it,
Uh-huh.
getting them to be hungrier and overeat by an amount of approximately 300 calories.
So what you're saying is there is no standard healthy diet that works for everyone. Golly gee, can you believe that, everyone? Can you believe that? Wow. Is there an aggregate, an average level of advice for most people when it comes to their food intake and caloric intake, as well as combined with exercise, etc., and also avoiding certain substances or bad habits? Yeah, there are some baseline pieces of advice that are, again, on average, the best that we know of for people in general. But yeah, if you want a tailored diet to your particular circumstance, tailored to your particular weight, your particular digestion, your particular health issues, and so on and so forth, or family history, yeah, you would need to go in for an individual evaluation and then get the best advice that is available from your doctor, your health scientist, whatever. Can you believe that, everybody? That there is no diet panacea for the entire world? I cannot believe it. Okay.
And yet, even that effect was highly individual.
Mm-hmm.
When we gave foods of exactly the same calories, let's say, for example, oatmeal and almonds,
Yeah.
to the same people,
Yeah.
we saw that the responses were much different.
Oh.
Can you guess which of these two foods have higher, more unhealthy responses?
I don't know, but can you imagine that different people possess different metabolism? You already said it yourself, that everybody's, even twins, have a different digestion process one to another than another person. You've already given us this answer. You don't need to continue to explain to us this fact of life. Okay, on the off chance that anybody in the audience who doesn't have half a brain or hasn't lived at least 30 years doesn't have some inkling of that, you didn't need to spend more than about 2 minutes giving us 3 examples and then moving on. So I cannot wait in the remaining 5 minutes and 36 seconds to find out what is the answer to this problem. Because I assume that after all of this study and this, that, and the other, that he has something akin to an answer?
Well, let me tell you.
Okay.
The healthy oatmeal had higher responses, meaning more unhealthy. Although the fatty almonds had more stable responses, which means it's more healthy.
Well, I didn't know what the foods were until you said so, because I guess maybe I could tell the almonds, but it was so distant. Okay, anyway.
So in the end, it turns out that maybe the calorie is not a calorie. This is exactly why restrictive calorie counting fails. You see, it's the quality of the food that matters.
You don't say. You mean to tell me that 500 calories of Cheetos is different from 500 calories of celery? Oh, man. Guys, can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Oh, gosh, you mean I can't just count calories on my ice cream tub and forget, carrots? Oh, geez, holy cow. Boy, oh boy, everybody, I've been living sideways my entire life. Hey, oh, gosh. Did I already circle benevolent condescension? I did. I did circle benevolent condescension. Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. I'm going to keep going. Sorry. My brain is just all over the place.
It's the quality of the calories we consume that determines the amount of calories that we burn.
It's sad that I don't have a square on the board.
And the effect is highly individual. Let me put it simply.
Yeah, you've
if
said
I eat
that.
a food,
Yeah.
the higher my responses are,
Yeah.
the more my biology fights back,
Uh-huh.
getting me to be hungrier and overeat.
Uh-huh.
The more stable my responses are, the more I get my biology right by my side,
Uh-huh.
needing less calories to consume.
Oh, and so your personal diet would have to be tailored to your personal body. Is that it? Is that where we're headed? Like tailored diets? Because that's never, ever, ever been thought of before.
So,
A needle pulling thread.
with Predict, we saw that every single one of us
Uh-huh.
is unique.
Well, oh, okay. Roll credits. We're done, everybody. Holy cow. Can you believe it? Mind blown. Okay. We're all unique. We're all unique. You know what? I'm circling argumentative non sequitur. No. Duh. That's as close as I can come in this. That doesn't sound right. That's as close as I can come to that square in this so far. Let me try to at least partially, fully articulate my thoughts so it doesn't come off as something dirty. Okay. You know what? I'm also going to circle systemic institutional for digestive system because I'm feeling generous today for some reason. And also, by the way, if you didn't already know, if you have any arguments for squares yet to be circled, just hold on to them. We'll get to you by the end of this, whatever it is. Okay, can we get to the part where you'd start telling us what your grand solution is to this problem of individuality?
We all have very different gut microbiomes.
Yes, we
even
know.
identical twins.
Yes, you told us.
We all have very different responses to food. In fact,
Yes.
10 times different.
Yes, you told us.
Even identical twins.
Even identical twins. Yeah, okay. Every sentence needs to be ended now with even identical twins.
And our lifestyle, the way we eat, the way we live, is completely unique, making the difference in these responses larger and larger.
Even in identical twins.
And that is very important
Oh.
for the amount of calories we consume, our hunger levels, our energy levels, our mood, our gut health, our overall health.
Even in identical twins.
So we ask ourselves the following question.
Oh, I can't wait. What is this wondrous query?
How can we take this amazing data and insights and turn it into something actionable so that many people, including all of us here, can benefit from?
Even in identical twins.
With the help of artificial intelligence.
Oh, AI. Okay, AI. Tell us what to do, supercomputer.
We developed a personalized prediction algorithm.
A personalized prediction algorithm. So what you mean to tell me is, if I enter in my eating habits, my weight, my height, my age, whether I smoke, how much I smoke, whether I drink, how much I drink, if I add in all this information into a little app, it's going to pump out some numbers or some recommendations based on my specific health needs and lifestyle as to what kinds of foods, minerals, and so on that I should focus on. Boy, howdy, everyone. Can you imagine such a thing existing in the real world?
So we can help predict for every single person.
Yeah, you know what? Here's a thought. Here's a thought. Why don't you go to a doctor? It's just, you know, I mean, I understand not everybody has health insurance and so on, but you can probably go somewhere to get a health assessment. You know, some places even pay for them. A free health assessment. Some places even do that for free. Sometimes the government pays for it even. How about you go to an actual person instead of relying on Stanford University? Take a look at Stanford's history with data aggregation and accuracy. I know, I harp on Stanford quite a bit, but they deserve it. Go to a doctor. Go to a doctor. Go to your general practitioner and get a health assessment. You know, where they weigh you and they ask you questions and you answer them honestly and they give you a eating plan or something. Come on.
their actual response to food and any lifestyle, and its impact on the real-time health, so that we can help people like Jackie and Jillian, Hugo, Ross, in fact, everybody here and in the world.
Okay, yeah. So you can assess an average for any person putting their personal information into this thing based on the subjects you already polled, which again has never been done before. And okay,
to understand the true state of the health and also get a personalized score for any food and lifestyle and the right advice for them to stabilize the responses, improve the gut health, and live healthier for longer.
Okay, sales pitch for product or service, circling that one on the board because this is obviously that. Here's a thought, and I know this might be a bit too sciencey for our speaker. I don't know. Maybe it's outside the realm of a real study. And I'm, again, just an English major, not a health scientist or anything. But I'd be curious to know that after they had created this informative algorithm suggestion widget, did they then go back, apply this to every one of their previous test subjects, and then have them follow that advice from that algorithm for another 2 weeks? And did the algorithm and the AI actually fix each individual person's problem? Because it's one thing to say that you found a problem and that you collected a bunch of data. And it's one thing to say that you discovered or created a solution/tool to address these problems. But my question would be, did it work in the reverse? I wonder if he'll say, I wonder if they actually did that. Let's find out.
I was amongst the first guinea pigs to try out this algorithm, and the results were profound.
Really? Am I supposed to take it on faith by a test subject of 1? Or did you reverse apply it to the previous 75,000 subjects?
First of all, I felt empowered. I felt liberated.
You felt liberated. Before all of this, did you go to an actual doctor? Oh, wait, you did. And he gave you a leaflet. Okay. Is that all the doctor did? Just gave you a leaflet? I'm still wondering, like, how this doesn't make any sense.
For the first time, I could truly understand the actual responses and the impact of food and lifestyle on my health.
For the first time at 42. For the first time at 42 or older, because I'm assuming that when you found this pound of fat in your system, you were 42, and then when you eventually developed all this other stuff, at least a couple of years had passed, right? Okay, so at 42, or by the time you reach 42, you had absolutely no concept in your mind about the possible effects food has on your health. Cool story, bro.
For the first time, I could make my own decisions.
Wait, what? Wait. Okay. Unless you are living in indentured servitude up until the age of 42, and even if I extend to you the possibility that you just decided to live your entire life up to the age of 42 in blissful ignorance about the effects of food and the body, even in the most high-level cursory way, only now you're able to make your own choices about your food intake? Prior to this, someone was directing you and dieting you? Who was this person?
Not be told what to do.
Who was... Okay, now, okay. Blink twice if you're in a safe place. But who was telling you what to do?
By following the advice, I dropped my cholesterol levels and my fat levels by 40%.
Okay, so let me get this straight. You were eating a particular way for 42 years, and then all of a sudden, you changed to a moderated diet, and things changed, you say? Ooh. Well, here's my question. Did you at least for a time follow the advice of the leaflet to see what the results would be from the leaflet? Now, you didn't tell us what was on the leaflet. But do you think that if you did follow the advice on the leaflet and started eating a regular and regimented diet, do you think things would have changed as well there too? Or only your AI algorithm can do this? Okay.
I improved my gut health by 30%.
Wow. Great. I mean, you know, all kidding aside for a moment, if our speaker did find a way to live and eat a healthier life, good for him. I don't think he needed to jump through or make other people jump through all of the hoops that he has listed off to reach that conclusion, but good for him.
I was not tired anymore. My energy went through the roof. I was not just alive. I was living life again.
Right.
Now, I want to ask you a question. Please raise your hand.
Okay. I'm getting ready. I have my I got my arm support on. All right. My wrist support to avoid carpal tunnel. All right. My hand is ready to possibly be raised.
If you obsess to try and find that perfect size of shoes and clothes, right?
If I obsess to find the perfect size of shoes and clothes.
Right?
No. No, I mean, not obsess any more than make sure they fit before I buy them. I guess. I don't know. I don't think that would be an obsession in most people. It would just be pragmatic and practical. What?
You have all wear the same size shoe, right?
Okay, dude. You don't need to continue hammering home the individuality argument. It has been made. It is accepted. Okay? Even if there was anybody in the audience so dunderheaded as to not understand that everybody operates a little differently one to another, sometimes in major ways, we don't need to keep going over this well-trodden ground. Everyone is different. Thanks. Even twins.
Please raise your hand, right?
Okay, you're going to keep making me do this, aren't you?
Right?
Okay, I'll just stay at the ready with that.
Come on, don't be shy. All right.
Everybody obsess. Yeah. Okay. But for those of you watch or listening at home, he's got a shot of the audience now, and some people are tentatively raising their hands because A, it wasn't a very well-formed question, and B, most people don't obsess over shoe sizes, or at least the word obsess doesn't make any sense.
If we all obsess about finding the perfect size for our clothes and our shoes.
Well, it's not obsession. It's just, what?
Let me ask us a question. Why do we accept identical nutrition advice that is wrong and harmful for us?
Okay. A, you haven't shown that anything was wrong, and B, you haven't shown that anything was harmful. Okay? You didn't even go over with us the leaflet that you were given. Right? And all right, sorry. Anyway, yes, there is a standard level of advice when it comes to eating a healthy diet, right? It is not tailored to the individual. If you want tailored individual diet plans, yes, you're going to have to go to a professional, or even your averaged out algorithmic AI, whatever. Not everything works the same for everybody. There is some standard governmental advice, but that's just all it is. Standard advice. Okay.
Why do we accept being in the dark about the true state of our health.
Most people don't. And if they don't care, that's their choice. You know, personal choice. Some people just want to live as they want to live. You know, like George Burns, for example. This guy smoked at least one cigar every day of his adult life, and he lived to be 100 years old, right? Or 100 or 99 or something, right? And you have other people like Andre Braugher. If you guys don't know who Andre Braugher is, amazing actor, played one of my favorite cop characters on television, Detective Frank Pembleton on the show Homicide: Life on the Street from back in the 90s. He just died of lung cancer at 61. Now, I don't know his smoking habits, but I'll bet you he was not smoking 1, 2, or 3 cigars every day like George Burns, but he died of lung cancer. George Burns lived to be 100 years old. So, yeah, if you can believe it, suddenly my phone goes off. Probably a work text or something. Anyway, yeah, if you can believe it, different people operate at different speeds. Yeah, we know. You've made this point. It's a point well made, and you've well made it several times. Let's just, come on, move on. Thank you, Corey Suzuki. I bet this guy thinks even a word salad is unhealthy. Oh! Now here's the question. Do I get abstract with the word salad square and circle it anyway, given the subject matter? I guess we'll come to that. I might need an argument for that one. Anyway, okay, he's got 2 minutes left to continue hitting us with the everybody's different.
In 1965, we started inspecting our cars yearly.
Okay, if I hadn't already circled argumentative non sequitur. Do you mean to tell me that wear and tear over time has different effects on different cars?
In 2023, we get an electronic diagnostic for our cars daily and an overnight software upgrade to be able to keep them running healthier for longer. In 1965, 1 in 50 people had type 2 diabetes. In 2023, 1 in 9 people are dying from diabetes. And 1 in 3 people have prediabetes. 90% of them not even knowing about it.
Yeah, this is why you have to exercise, even if you think you're operating healthfully. Exercise and keep watch on what you're eating. Yes, if you can believe it.
I believe we deserve better. I believe you have a right to understand how your own body works and make your own decisions.
Wow, I've never heard of such a thing before. There's no such thing as a healthy eating industry or anything. There's no such thing as going in and getting a health assessment. Okay, thank you, Chicago Mike. I'm obsessed with the perfect baseball cap size. There's only one. Everybody has a perfect baseball cap. It's the one with the little plastic thing with the holes on the back. One size fits all. That's one instance where there really is a single solution to your problem, Chicago Mike. You should know that. And if you didn't, that'll be $5. Oh, wait, you gave me $5. So there you go. My advice is retroactive. Okay.
Day by day. So you can look forward to more healthy years of life.
Thanks.
I ask us all a question.
Okay.
What would the world look like if all of us could predict the future state of our health?
Well, whatever the future, if I knew the future state of my health, then I'd already know where I'm going to be. I mean, are you talking about like altering? Are we talking about multiverse theory now or something? What?
And take proactive, personalized action decades before diseases arise.
But if I already know what my future's okay, now I'm getting a headache.
Or to make it a bit larger, what would the world look like if 10 billion people on this planet each gained 10 extra healthy years of life?
Well, the world would look exactly as it looks now. The world will still be here after we are all long gone. I'm pretty sure. In the grand scheme of the age of the planet, we are but a blip, an eye blink. 200,000 years put up against 4.5 billion. But anyway, sorry. Was the 100 billion years thing going to come up somewhere? I'm assuming he meant collectively.
Well, I can tell you, this is a world with 100 billion extra healthy years of life.
Well, I spoke too soon. There it is. Right. So it's a collective aggregated total of life expectancy increase based on your algorithmic AI solution, right?
100 billion years of people not just being alive, but people living life.
Yeah.
And that is an idea worth sharing, my friends.
Oh.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got him there. Yeah, okay, so short version. There's standard dietary advice for promoting as healthful a life as possible. And then there are personalized, tailored diet plans based on, your own personal situation. I could have stated that more cleanly and clearly if I had a few minutes to write it down, but I could have given this same talk effectively in 4 sentences, and this guy took 16 and a half minutes to tell us something we all already knew, but to promote a study that tells us what we all already know. Everybody's different. Not every diet works for every person in the same way, and it's best you get an individualized assessment if you're really looking for the best advice possible on your diet and health. Okay, well, there you go. That was the presentation on how to increase healthy life by 100 billion years. Hey, caramba. All right, let's move on to the bingo card. Bingo card B. Remember, B as in billion. And the links to the bingo cards are in the description if you don't have your bingo cards. And they should work now. The server from the file sharing site is working. Last I checked, unless that changed in the last couple hours. All right, here's how the card looks right now. I'm going to go over it one more time. And if you have any arguments for squares to be circled, hold on to them momentarily. Marginalize, marginalization. Not really. I mean, I guess I could say something to the effect of, the standard dietary advice doesn't work for everybody because there's people who are different. And therefore the people that it doesn't work for are quote unquote on the margins, but I don't know if that might be stretching it too much. Self-vilification or wretchedness. Yes, the way that he was eating prior to all this, he thought he was doing well, but actually, I know it's a slight equivalence to the square, but it was part of his argument that even he was contributing to the problem. Contradicts own point or argument. Contradicts own point. I don't know that he ever contradicted his point, because again, his point is just basic common sense in the modern day. I don't. Well, in the modern day, in days past, I'm not quite sure what the point was. Yeah, everybody's different. Everybody's eating healthy diet doesn't necessarily work for every person. Okay. Feminism, no. Microaggressions, unconscious bias. Not that I can think of. Privilege, no. Surprisingly enough, he never brought up like the price or lifestyle or economy when it comes to eating. I was kind of surprised by that. Weightless example. Weightless example. I don't know. The car thing near the end. Oh, technology has advanced. Yes, it has. I don't know. The whole thing feels like a weightless example because imagine that. Actually, that study from 1972, he presents a study that was terrible and terribly constructed, at least as he described it. It would have been more interesting if he'd brought up a study like the leaflet he was given. right? Let's say it was something like this. The doctor handed me a leaflet as to what I should do to eat healthier. And I looked at this leaflet and it had a citation on there. And the citation was from a study from 50 years ago, and it was badly constructed. Now, see, that would have been a better segue into his whole presentation if he had used his personal experience to show that the information he had personally received was both dated and poorly conducted. That would have been, again, isolating it down to one study and one example, but at least that would tell me, okay, he's making an argument that we need newer data using newer techniques and technology and so on. But he didn't do that. So the leaflet thing, kind of weightless example. Plays victim. Yes, apparently he had no choices. He was told what to do and what to eat all the way through to the age of 42 by something, somehow. Collectivize his own demographic. He never brought up something like, as a white male or as a straight this or anything. So, and just saying human beings who eat is just, I need something more specific. Economic disparity. Again, I was surprised didn't bring up, economic conditions as a factor in one's health at any point, as far as I can tell. So that was it. Attempt to coin new buzzword, buzz phrase. I mean, the name of their project is Predict, but that's not really a buzzword or buzz phrase. He didn't give out anything, something like something I like to call blah. Did he? No, he was just, no, I don't think he did. I know he used a phrase. He said he was going to use a phrase more than once to refer to changes in blood based on what you ate, but I don't think that's a new buzzword or buzz phrase. Mind reading assumes motives. He assumes his entire audience is a bunch of idiots. I know, and that might be pretty harsh to say, but honestly, nothing in this talk was either revelatory, and the way that he put it out there, it's like again, no duh. Patriarchy, I mean, it would get us a bingo, but again, he never brought up any sort of like sexual politics or differentials between the genders or anything, or talked about how men have been controlling the health industry forever. So that, I can't circle that one. Diversity, equity, and or inclusion. Again, I could extend that to say, oh, well, everybody's gut is different. Now, you know what? I am going to do that. I am going to do that because it's literally the case. Everybody's different. Actual, by definition, diversity was part of his argument. So there you go. White supremacy. You never brought up race. Childhood or family anecdote. Did he ever talk about his family? I mean, he talked about his personal health and eating habits and such. Did he ever talk about his family or his childhood? I don't think he did. I don't believe so. If somebody remembers or knows otherwise, please tell me in a moment. Leaves out vital context. Yeah, what were the results of taking your algorithm thing and turning it back on all the other subjects in the study? And did you see, not just in yourself, because again, if you're going to critique a study from 1972 that only had 12 participants, a study result of one participant doesn't tell me that your process actually has an overall, on average, benefit for the very people you studied in the first place. So, yeah, that didn't tell me anything, and to me was pretty vital for your presentation to make any sense. And lastly, word salad. I am going to circle this one because he went all over the place and repeated himself and his points several times, and it was unnecessary. You could have cut down this talk by about, I'd say, 5 minutes or so, if he had just stuck to his guns and made it very efficient. But he kept hammering home, everybody's different. Everybody's different. Did you know that twins are different even though they look exactly the same? Everybody's different. Yeah, I know. I get it. So that is the card as I have it right now. We are close to a couple of bingos, but I'm going to need some pretty good arguments for those bingos. So now if you have arguments for squares to be circled, please put them in the chat now. Be sure to tag me in your comment. It's easier for me to tell it apart from other things you might say. I will scroll up a bit in case I missed anything. Let's see. Molly Okami, good evening. Hi, Scribelight. How are you doing? Well, I'm thinking about having some Cheetos after this. I'm doing great, aside from being, relatively sleep deprived. But other than that, let's see. Hey, Boo. Well, hey, Boo. Just stopping in for something to listen to for dinner. How is you? Wait, you eat through your ears? That's amazing. Can you imagine like someone or like as a sci-fi show where they eat sound waves? Like sound waves are their sustenance. Oh man, can you imagine a planet like maybe they're deaf. It's sort of like a reverse The Quiet Place where sound waves are their food. Like they need to find a place maybe they're all deaf and they can't actually hear sound. They need to eat sound. And then they find Earth with our heavy metal music or something. Wouldn't that be something? Anyway. Shadowclaw, you're right. He mentioned his grandmother. That's right. I completely forgot. That's right. Grandma told me. You're absolutely right. I don't know why I missed that when he was saying it, but you're absolutely right. And as a result of that, if you can believe
Bingo.
What? Bingo! Yeah!
Of course.
we have our first bingo on the board. Well, thank you so much for that. Shadowclaw, good one. All right, bingo number 1. What's else? Oh, that was for someone else, Scribe. Oh, I'm not Boo. Okay. Oh, it's okay. I'll make do. Not being Boo. Anyway, any other arguments for squares to be circled? Let me know in the comments. We have room for others. I don't know. Let's see. Marginally, I could see maybe some arguments in there, but it might be kind of slim pickings at this point. Might be kind of slim pickings, and not the guy that rode the atomic bomb down to the ground in Doctor Strangelove. But anyway, let's see. Looking at the chat. The chat isn't moving. Uh-oh. Did I lose connection? Did my stream freeze up? When the chat doesn't move, I assume YouTube died on me, or the chat froze, or the stream has died. That's my first indicator. Uh-oh. Okay. Keeverdam says bump. Chicago Mike says here. Keeverdam says bump. Keeverdam just bumping all over the place. Oh, here we go. Tony Giff. I love that in the last 24 hours, Neurotic and Heel versus Babyface has reposted Scribelight tweets. Our little secret corner of the internet has reached the bigger guys. Yeah, that was something else. I've been watching Heel or As and Neurotic for quite a while. There's some 2 or 3 degrees of separation between myself and them via Midnight's Edge and such. But that was funny. For those of you that don't know, I had a very interesting interaction with Az from Heel versus Babyface. I couldn't possibly explain it on here, and in fact, it probably wouldn't be family friendly. But if you want to know, you can check out my feed, or just check out Neurotic's feed over the last 12 hours or so, and you'll find out what's going on. Alan Thyler, holy cow! Thank you again for the good job at Dogcat Fox. Oh, Dogcat Fox!
Wow. Wow.
That is a Sinatra Dogcat Fox. Yeah, it's my 15 minutes of nerd fame on Twitter. Yes, the two of the stars of Friday Night Tights and the Fellowship retweeting my silly joke Photoshop. But either way, Spoonie the Rebel, don't even know who those guys are. Yeah, no, like I say, it's a niche territory. But if you look up Heel versus Babyface or Nerdrotic, they're both guys that cover pop culture stuff, comic book movies, Disney craziness, Hollywood, and so on and so forth. Pretty good commentary, put on some good shows. I watch them occasionally. Let's see. And Tony Gibbs says, Mr. Tickle Trunk is the connection between... Yes, Mr. Tickle Trunk really is the connective tissue between so many channels. Like I'll just be, I remember, I can't remember what it was, but I just popped in some random channel one time to watch something, and there in the chat was Mr. Tickle Trunk. I was like, what? What are you doing here? He's all over the place. He's kind of like the John Munch of the YouTuber universe. And if you get that joke, which is also a reference to Homicide: Life on the Street, you're also a nerd. Any other arguments for squares to be circled, guys? Let me know in the chat. A quick programming note. Sunday at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern will be the Sunday stream, the stream I do on Sundays, because that's the day to stream on Sundays. I've already picked out this week's topic. I know it's really early. I usually do it on Saturday, but I already picked it out. I'll give you a free preview. It has to do with DEI and embezzlement. And we're going to learn from the source herself how to run a successful business. It's going to be something. Also, if you're not already, whoops, that's not the right link. Come on, Discord. You're supposed to give me a link to the channel. Let's try that again. 1 second here. Copy link. Yes. Okay. And then you're supposed to copy over the thing that I copied, not that. There we go. There's a link in the chat now to the Discord server. If you're not a member of my Discord server, you can become one right now if you like to. All you have to do is click on that. You'll find yourself on the landing channel called Say Hello. And in addition to saying hello, you have to say the secret word. The secret word will tell me and my moderators that you actually watched the stream and have thus earned the right, the privilege, the entitlement of joining the Discord server. And today's secret word is twins. Because, twins. Even twins. Just say, hello, twins, and you can become a member of the Discord server where all the fun happens. Or at least all the announcements of my streams and things going on happen. And conversation with other people who watch the channel. So check that out. But I don't see other arguments in the chat, so I think we are done here tonight. Let's see. Any other programming notes? Oh, I'm still, don't have a date yet. Fingers crossed. Knock for Micah. I still have, I'm arranging the next episode of Living on Borrowed Crime, hopefully soon. It's all a matter of scheduling and time zones. And as soon as I know, as soon as I have something nailed down, I will definitely let you guys know both on the Discord and on Twitter. Also follow me on Twitter so you can see such excitement in my world from Nerdrotic and Heel versus Babyface and everything else at scribe_light. A couple more things before I close out. If you haven't already hit the like button, please consider doing so. I'd appreciate it if you did. And if you like this kind of thing, or you like content from any creator out there, please be sure to share that stuff out, because unlike YouTube, you guys are the best algorithm. You might even give me some dieting tips as an algorithm. Who knows? But everyone, thank you so much for joining me. Moderators, thank you for keeping an eye on things, even though everyone here is so well behaved. You have very, very little to do. Everybody who donated either to myself or to the fundraisers at the top of the chat box, thank you guys so much for your generosity. Really do appreciate it. Hope you all have a good rest of your Thursday, Friday ahead of you, weekend as well. I hope you're all safe and well. If you're not, please get well soon, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.